Hi, my name is Albert Hahn. I'm the pastor at Milton Marlborough United Methodist Church and Memorial United Methodist Church at Medina. And as of July 1, I have been appointed by the bishop to be the cooperative parish coordinator. And I also have an admin responsibility for the First United Methodist Church in Highland.
I'm Limina Grace Harmon. I'm the pastor at New Paltz United Methodist Church, and I'm really, really excited to be a part of the Southern Valley Cooperative Parish.
Hello, my name is George Hart, and I'm one of the pastors here in the Southern Valley Parish. I'm glad now to be the pastor at Highland First United Methodist and Plutarch United Methodist Church.
I'm Gail Erdy. I'm a CLM serving at the Lloyd United Methodist Church and the Esopus United Methodist Church, and alternating Sundays once a month at the Highland United Methodist Church.
I'm not a big hobbyist, but I do a few things. I play golf, of course. That's been something I've done all my life since I've been able to play golf. And that's something I do. I do it mostly with my son. We try to get out once a week. I also, I like cars, and I have restored, I probably will do other ones, but I have restored right now a 1979 Volkswagen Beetle convertible, Super Beetle convertible. And we did a frame off restoration on it, and that was fun. And also with my eldest daughter, I've always been interested in antiquing. And so together we like antiques and collectibles. Linda also is into that. So it's a hobby for us. We like to travel around and look at stuff and then buy it. But we have a little place in a store up in Jackson Corners in Dutchess County. And those are my hobbies. I like those things to do.
When I am not telling stories that I hope keep people up at night so that they see the world differently the next day, I like to make things, because pastoral work is very intangible, and some days it's really exhausting to get to the end of the day and not have any, there's no thing, there's no there, and that starts to weigh on me. So I like to make things, all kinds of things. I'm a terrible but very, very determined knitter, but I need a prosthetic device, so I use a loom. I'm not good at it at all, but I keep doing it because it makes something. I love to cook and to bake. Recently, I've started making gelato, which is a lot of decadent fun. And I also really love to kayak and to go off-roading, like jeeping and rock climbing in an enormous, ridiculous Jeep.
So I think that my hobby has changed. I don't really have a very steady hobby throughout my lifetime. So I used to enjoy sports. I used to running. I play racquetballs, but I don't really do those anymore. I think one of my favorite activities is to go to a coffee shop and sit by the window on a rainy day just to have some coffee and just watch people walk by. That's one of my greatest joy. I just like also sitting out in a restaurant or a deck, in a pleasant day, just to enjoy the weather or enjoy the people going by and maybe having food together. My wife and I love to eat, that's my hobby.
I'd like to say I have a lot of hobbies, but I don't have too many right now that I have time for. I used to love sewing. I used to do a lot of cross stitch. In my younger days, I used to paint. I used to garden a lot. And this year I found that I did not have the time nor the energy to be able to devote to that. So we didn't plant the vegetable garden this year. And I'm enjoying the freedom that gave me. And yet I miss being able to go out there and pick the first squash and watch for the tomatoes to ripen. And right now, I think my biggest hobby are grandchildren and great grandchildren. I have a new one who's living outside of Albany. Um, he was born in August, and he's a bruiser and a half, but he's the fourth. I have two granddaughters that both have children now, and it's but I'm now the matriarch. You know, I've been moving up from the hierarchy in my family. We've been 5 generations for, I think, 3 different times now, but my role in it keeps moving closer to the other end. And that's kind of scary.
I'm very good in crisis situation, you know. So in a way, uh, this current COVID era, and also even pre-COVID and post-COVID, what the church is experiencing is a crisis, and there is a sense in which really nobody knows what's going on, and nobody seems to know what we need to do, you know. But I feel that, you know, there's something that I can offer in such a time as this, you know, and especially for this transition as we start this new configuration as a cooperative parish. I feel like there's something I can offer. Another thing that I might say is I'm one of the most boring person in the world. And I kind of like it that way. I tell my children boring life is a great life. um, yeah, so I accomplished a lot by not doing things. And somehow, you know, I don't really need a lot of stimulus. I don't really need a lot of excitement. You know, I just like being, you know, and I think over the years, God has really allowed me to just embrace who I am. You know, I don't have to be an excellent person, excellent Christian. Embrace who I am, and I think that's who I am. Yeah.
The only thing I could think of is even though I've been a pastor for many, many years, not just in Catskill Hudson district, but in many other churches, a part-time pastor or a part-time associate pastor. I am bivocational. I still do work for the Peel Ministries, and I've been there for 52 years. So I have 2 jobs. And I don't know if that's so surprising. I think there's a lot of bivocational pastors.
The fact that I really am shy and reserved when it comes to being in places where I don't know people. It takes me a while to warm up and to feel comfortable. Once I'm past that, I'm fine. I still get butterflies before I lead a worship service. I still swallow hard before I do anything on Zoom that's going to be recorded. Those are just awkward times for me. But if I can get them started, and if I can invite God into the conversation with me, I manage to continue to go through. But most people, I love the fact that I often get to preach behind podiums because I feel like my knees are shaking when I share a message. I know they're not, but it feels like they are. And I love the fact that there's a safety covering my knocking knees. And I'm also surprised that very few other people sense that when I'm in a leadership role. So I think that's kind of funny.
I think that probably for most people, the most surprising thing about me is that I am. I am not. I'm not expected. I'm not expected in the places where I find myself, and yet I certainly feel called to be in them. So that's probably the most surprising thing about me. That and maybe the Jeep. The Jeep might be too.